Hello lovely, I went to Miniatura at the weekend. Shall I show you what I bought? I'll move the camera around and then I'll show you each item that I got. So the first stall I went to was Art of Janny, and they have wonderful stuff. I'm not quite sure what the background is, if they're from the Netherlands or somewhere. Everything was priced in euros and pounds, but yeah, Netherlands or somewhere like that. I'm sorry, Art of Janny, I haven't got that information in my head. So I wanted some baskets, and they had various baskets, and I intended to go to other basket places, but I wasn't very successful with that. But anyway, I got one basket, and I think these are all laser printed. So that's a lovely little basket. That's only £4.50, so I can do a paint job on that. Not quite sure what it's for at the moment. It may well be for wood. Don't know, like for the wood stove. I got this little tiny hat box. I'm not sure if I can get it in focus or not, but anyway, wonderful little tiny hat box, and it's got incredible details in the mouldings, where these would be the leather straps and the lock and the hinge. This was £4.95. Absolutely beautiful, and that's even got the sort of the leather grain look on it. So I'll have a great deal of fun painting that. So I think that's going to go in Ashton Place. Got a couple of little frogs because I could. So these are teeny tiny. Again, I think they're laser printed. Teeny tiny frogs. So I'm going to have to paint those. Not quite sure where they're going. I was just inspired to buy frogs, and the price ticket has come off, but I think it was £2.95 or something like that. And I got some little mice, 2 mice. They've got a slightly different tail arrangement. And Paul used to keep rats before he met me. He had some pet rats. Oh yes, I can see how they're different. One is sort of scurrying. One is scurrying and one is sitting up. So he's going to have a couple of mice up in his room in Ashton Place. So I will paint those. In fact, I might actually let him paint those. We'll see. But they're both absolutely gorgeous. And they had these little tiny leaves, which you might think is a bit excessive buying leaves when I could get a leaf punch. But by the time I've got the leaf punch and found the paper that I want, and this is all sorts of different shades of the greeny yellowy colour, these are absolutely gorgeous. So these are going to go on the front step probably of Ashton Place. So that was £3.50. Absolutely delighted with those. Then I got some more leather bits from Blue Ribboned Fabrics. They do lots of things online, but they don't sell the leather online. And I gather, I heard in the coffee shop somebody saying that they're going to stop doing leather because I think they've got a supply problem. And they did have great big pieces if you wanted one big piece in one colour. I wanted the variety, and now I wish I'd bought more. But you know what? I just didn't have the steam left to go back in. By the time we got to lunchtime, I really was quite wiped out. My brain was just completely fried. I want to open this big. I particularly like this colour. Oh, look at that. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Sort of, it's not red, it's sort of a pinky red. It's what I'd call crushed raspberry. And if you saw me make some cushions recently, I was using something in this shade. So I don't know what this is going to be. I don't know. I might even make a chair out of that or something. I don't know. It's just too scrumptious not to get. But I sort of wish I'd got more, and I really quite fancied a yellow, but I didn't get it. But you know what? For £3.50 each, I should have got 10. But anyway, I didn't. I'll just have to take my chances if they're ever there again when I want to go again. So that's that. What else have we got? These pictures I'd seen on the website. There was this gentleman that used to paint pictures, Norman D. Whiting. And this little blurb tells you about his background: National Service, photographer in the RAF, Ealing School of Art. Anyway, in 1984, he resumed his career in art as a landscape painter, selling original framed ones, and then realised that he could do miniatures. And these are absolutely exquisite. So this one is going to go in Ashton Place. You'll see that over the fireplace. These are prints of his original art. He's passed away, unfortunately, but his wife was there, and his daughter, I think, is doing something on Etsy, selling prints on Etsy. There we are, stuff on Etsy. And they were in 1/12 and 1/24. Oh, and some 1/48 scale prints. I could have bought a lot more, but I didn't. I think these were, yes, these were £10 each for the prints, ready framed. This one is going into Maggie May's, into the lounge, because I really like the blues in that. That just makes me think of a bluebell wood, but it might not be a bluebell wood because the leaves are starting to come out. So, but anyway, it's just so gorgeous, and they're already framed and everything, and beautiful, and I'm really happy to support that family. So what else have I got in my bag? I did buy some things I didn't intend to buy. I couldn't resist buying some of these prints by Nicola Mansell, and she creates these designs. And in the kit, so these were £13 each for cushions, and in the kit you get everything you want. So you got the chart, she's done the chart, she's put in all the threads, that's the silk gauze already mounted on some boards, so it's easy to sew. There's a needle in there as well, everything you need. And I thought what I will probably do when I made one is, if I can get hold of some more gauze, and she does sell the gauze on her website, is I'll probably buy some more gauze and I'll make another cushion or 3 using her pattern, crediting her, but maybe I'll do different colorways or something like that. Anyway, gorgeous. She did have things ready done that she'd done, including some fabulous rugs that were way out of my price range. I mean, you know, 1,000 and something, because the time involved, the work was absolutely exquisite. But I thought, I like doing those, I will do those. What else? And I think when I went to Miniatura last time, I don't think she had any kits. I don't know if she'd run out, maybe she'd been somewhere else just before. What is this? Oh yes, I wanted some of these, and I managed to find some. These are like printers' trays, and I can put all sorts of little oddments of quirky things, and I'm not exactly sure who to credit. I think it was Miniatures by D, but I'm not positive because I can't find them on anybody's website. But I got a couple of other business cards that don't fit. So I think these were Miniatures by D, but these were, I think these were, yeah, £5 each. So delighted with those. She did have some ready filled, but I say I've got a whole collection of bits and pieces that I want to display. What's this? Oh yes, I got some buckles, teeny tiny little buckles, and I think it's from this person, but I'm Cinderella. Fishguard. So Sylvia Lena. I didn't think this lady was Welsh, but anyway, I'm not exactly sure this was her, but thank you, whoever you are, person, for getting the wonderful buckles. And I try and be laser focused when I'm going to these, because there's just so many things to see, so easy to get distracted. And I found when I went to Penny Graham Penny whitewood furniture. I found a couple of frames that I really quite liked, so I'm going to do something with those, and I think they might go in. I think the round one might go in Maggie May's upstairs. I'm not sure about the long one. I think that might go in Ashton Place. So I've got those two. What else? What else is in here? What's in here? Can't really remember now. I sort of had to just put everything to one side when I got home. Oh yes, Valerie Clare. So I got some perfume labels, sheets of perfume labels, because I've got all sorts of different bottles that I can put labels on. And yeah, okay, they might not, what I'm making, it might not be a Chanel number 5 bottle, but you know, it'll have a pretty label on it. Then she always throws in a couple of little freebies. So these look like signs and board games. And a sort of little cut-out teddy. Do you remember those dolls we used to have with sort of clothing with the little tabs on that you folded over the shoulders of the outfit? So that's that. I always get some wonderful things from Valerie Clare. So I got another pair of scissors. I've got this lovely big pair of scissors. I thought they were opening. Maybe it was another pair that were opening. And I've got a big pair like this hanging on my sewing table in Ashton Place. I've got a little bird. It looks a bit, it's not as fat as a pigeon. Could be a pigeon maybe, a tiny pigeon, or it could be a dove. We've got lots of collared doves that come in our garden. So I'd like to think that's a dove. That's going to go somewhere on the outside of one of the buildings. I've got some little tiny antique brass looking drawer pulls. Those are lovely. And I've got 5. I don't know why I've got 5, but there we are. I've got 5. And then I've got a couple of, these look like they should go on trunks or something like that, or luggage cases. So those are clasps. You'll see those at some point. Probably use some leather to make some luggage and use those. Oh yes, what's this? Always get wonderful things from Tumdee Miniatures. Can take you forever to work your way along the store because there's always so many people and so many little tiny baskets of treasure. So I got a little tiny tray, and I might use this as a template for making some others, but anyway, that's a little tray and 2 window boxes. You're probably going to see these outside on the front of Maggie May's Emporium. Got some more funky mugs for the kitchen because you can never have too many funky mugs. And I got a fish because I just fancied a fish. It's a kitchen fish rather than a garden fish, I think. And I thought I bought 4 teaspoons, teeny tiny weeny teaspoons. And when I was looking through the bag, when I got home and I pulled them out, I know something dropped. Well, I've checked all inside my clothing, checked all the upholstery, blowed if I can find a 4th teaspoon. It may well appear when I'm not looking. What else? I think there's just this one last mystery thing. Oh, that's the Nicola Mansell card. And I was looking for things for plants. I really want to make lots of plants. And I bought these without really knowing what I'm doing. I need to get a machine to put these in. Can I remember what the machine is called? Anyway, I'll put it in the comments because I've got these and I emailed them to say, oh, I bought the die plates and I want to make plants, and do I need a machine or something? Because the website didn't really tell me. It's sort of like, you know, that's where you go if you know what you're doing, and I don't know. So anyway, jury's out on this. I don't know how successful this is going to be. I'll have to shop around. I don't want to spend more than 50 quid on a machine. These have cost me £9.99 and 2 times £10.99 for die plates for the leaves. So we'll see if I can find embossing machine. If you know anything about one of those, do tell me in the comments, because I'm completely in a new area. I know this sort of thing is used if you're making like little cutouts, if you do card, you know, making your own cards or scrapbooking and stuff like that. That's not my area at all, but anyway. I always go to something like this prepared, and I could see on the website, I could see a room plan, which was really helpful, and also there were lists, both in number order and alphabetical order of all the stall holders. So I could do my research with the profiles on the website on who I particularly wanted to see, and I'd got a bit of a shopping list, very vague really, but it was just sort of, you know, to remind me of things that I'm looking for. So I'm hanging on to the shopping list because I didn't do very well on the shopping list, but I got lots of other things, wonderful things. So I did a circle around the ones that I particularly wanted to go and shop at, and then I used a highlighter pen for the ones I wanted to visit, the stalls I wanted to visit, and the other colour for the ones that were sort of for viewing, for inspiration. I have to say there wasn't a lot of viewing for inspiration done because I was so focused on the places that I wanted to go to, and it was so busy you couldn't get to see a lot of the stalls, and I very quickly burn out in situations like that. My natural introvert just goes, too many people, get out of here. So I know I have a limited capacity time-wise in being able to cope. So anyway, do your research before you go, and I really, really do recommend, if you can get to Miniatura, they're there in the spring and autumn. I think the next one is October. If you can get there, do go, but do your homework first. Have a list of where you particularly want to go. And we were there for when it opened at 10 o'clock, and it was already heaving. So I expect it to be busy, and a lot of suppliers will only have so much stuff. So when they've sold out of their unique individual items, they haven't got any more because they're not mass produced. So that's my little show and tell of my purchases from Miniatura in March. Wonderful, wonderful visit, but prepared to be have your mind blown. Some of the creations are just so fantastic, but if you're looking for inspiration and ideas, definitely the place to go, and you'll be amazed by the things that you can buy. So wonderful, wonderful visit. I hope you can get there, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye for now. Please subscribe and hit the little bell. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.